Hey guys, welcome to tonight's Monday Night Live keto dieting and fasting. That includes carnivore dieting. I just have to go get my chamomile herbal tea downstairs. I'll present just a quick video so that there's no dead air time. Hey Darla, hey Bruce, hey Pat. Glad that everyone could join. Hopefully we'll have a lot more. We're going to go through a small teaching. I would like to read Dr. Fung's testimonial because he applies the fasting regime to put into remission type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes often, among other things, leads to kidney failure. So instead of waiting for his patients to eventually develop more and more kidney failure, and then he has a patient on dialysis, he's done the wacky idea of low carbing it and fasting to lower the insulin resistant, put into remission type 2 diabetes, which most people in the medical field consider it a chronic and progressive disease. All right. So this will just give me a little bit of time to go get my chamomile tea or chamomile herbal tea. All right. Just want to make sure this pops up. This was when my channel used to be called Fast Keto Prime. Just want to make sure it's popped up. All right, I'll be back in like 2 minutes, guys. Let's just watch this one completely.
All right, so our body is primarily composed of protein and fat and cholesterol. So, for example, our bones is collagen. That's a protein. There's a large mineral store within the bones. Calcium helps solidify that collagen structure, which is basically our frame. The brain is 60% fat, 20% cholesterol. All of our organs are proteins, all of, among other things. Our cells all have a lipid membrane, so a fat layer all around them. Our nervous system is primarily a fat sheath that's around our whole nervous system that kind of insulates it and allows the conduction the action potential to fire and to propagate down the nerve, so that, for example, nerve endings for muscles, we can contract our muscles, for example. So we're mostly protein and fat. That's the whole point that I'm trying to get to. So it just makes sense that if we're going to have a diet, that the majority of our food intake should be protein and fat, so that we can replace the actual structure of our body. Now, carbohydrates do not form any structure in our body. It's strictly a fuel source that we take in, that goes into our cell, that goes into the mitochondria within our cell. That's where the energy is produced in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So to say to a large population that 60% of our calories should be carbohydrates doesn't make any sense, because carbohydrates is strictly a fuel. And if you wish to use carbohydrates as a fuel in the form of glucose, then it's smart that you titrate it to your activity level. Understanding that when we are ingesting carbohydrates, the glucose molecule, once it enters the bloodstream, can be used immediately for generating ATP for that cell. It can also be stored in our liver and our muscles. When glucose is stored in our liver and muscle in its storage form, it's called glycogen, which is a glucose molecule and water. So when sugar is stored inside of our body, it is in the form of glycogen. So that's why when we carb up, if we were empty in our reserves, we put on about like 5, possibly up to 10 pounds of water if they were completely diminished. For example, when you do a low carbohydrate diet, there's a lot of weight loss that happens really quickly initially. And again, that's just depleting that reservoir. So there is a large weight fluctuation that's caused by water. But another alternative to using carbohydrates, because carbohydrates do have a strong insulin response, and insulin is a fat storage hormone. So we have to keep that in mind also. We can also use fat though, because fat is a backup fuel. So when carbohydrates are not being supplied to the body, not only does fat take part in hormones, in the layering of our cells, in the insulating of our bodies, it makes 60% of our brain. So not only is it structural, but it's also an energy source. Now, the energy source that we get from fat is fatty acids. And fatty acids also go to the liver and they get converted into ketones. So ketones is kind of like the fat version of glucose, right? So carbohydrates, energy is glucose, fat, energy is ketones. All right. So ketones, the body runs excellent with them. So that's the point I'm trying to make, is that carbohydrates are not essential. All right. They are a source of fuel that can be used. It's a little bit more tricky because if you carbed up and you replenished all of your glycogen stores the day before and you were sedentary after and you're sedentary today, adding another 60% of all that you're going to eat that day in carbohydrates is ridiculous. You don't need it. So when you're doing carbs, you have to keep in account the activity level, the energy demand that you're doing, and also whether your reservoirs are full or empty. When you are supplying yourself in a diet that is very low in carbohydrates and you wish to use primarily fat as a fuel, then when you're supplying the nutritional fat, it's going to get turned into ketones to supply your body. The fat that's not needed for energy at the moment also goes just to replenish your brain and the structures and all of your cells. So fat usually doesn't get wasted. It's a very useful fuel. The problem is that if you're consuming a lot of carbohydrates and your body's going to use those first, then the difference is that if you do add even the healthy fats, well, it'll be used for what's essential for your body structure, but any additional will get stored as fat. So fat can be fattening when you're using a high carbohydrate diet. But when you're restricting the carbohydrates and wishing to strictly primarily use fat and protein, then it's a different story. So that is why I suggest that the majority of your macronutrients should be fat and protein to rebuild your body. And the added benefit that fat is also a energy source that can be used as a primary energy source. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about, just to make sense that I find that the recommendations that they're giving to the public about 60% carbohydrates daily as your out of all your food, 60% should be energy. I think that is not fine tuning. It's not individualizing eating or teaching people that to understand what exactly the chemistry behind it is. People understood exactly the purpose of carbohydrates, that is strictly energy. I think that they would be a lot more able to use carbohydrates in a beneficial way, understanding that they would limit their carbohydrates if they knew that they stocked up the meals before. If they're sedentary that day, they don't need carbohydrates. Fat and protein have essential amino acids and essential fats. When we say essential, it means that our body cannot produce it. We have to get it from our diet. Carbohydrates are not essential. We've never heard of a carbohydrate, an essential carbohydrate. That's because protein, the amino acids, and the glycerol off the fat can produce glucose. So glucose isn't essential, even though it's needed for a few small pathways that ketones can't help with. As long as you're supplying the protein and fat, you are producing glucose. That's why my blood sugar, when I was fasting, was still 4.9, even if I wasn't ingesting anything, because the fat that was on my body was getting turned into glucose during a fasting state. the body is in a catabolic process, and it's eating and recycling all the broken proteins. So it's also able to make glucose with that. So that's my opinion about why the macros do not make sense. The recommendations are not helpful. They're inaccurate. And that's my opinion on the matter. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. All right. So hopefully that was a good intro. Let's just go to the comments. Thanks for sharing, Bruce. Saw something about eating greens. Hi, man. How are you doing? Mr. 30 pounds less. 30 pounds less, man. Great job. Good for you, man. Sure. Hope so. I'm not corrupt. Woot should be interesting. Darla, just meat and greens and some keto fat bombs. All right. So it seems like Pat is doing greens as a side dish, and the rest is doing keto. Yeah. Let me know if that's what you think, Pat, that on a ketogenic diet, if you're in ketosis, the energy level seems to be a lot more constant. I'm not talking about athletes that would benefit tremendously from having their glycogen storage, the sugar storage in all of their muscles, to be replenished at the maximum. Because when you're bursting into running, sports, athletics, and stuff like that, for sure you're going to benefit from having those glucose tanks in your muscles fully replenished. Most of the people here are people either that are obese, have tried the traditional low fat, high carb, less calories in, exercise more, and have not had any success with it. So for me, I'm comfortable coaching ketogenic diet because it's what's worked for me. It's allowed me over 5 years to control exactly how much I weigh. To be honest, the last month, there's been birthday parties, there's been camping trips and stuff like that. And I have cheated a lot. I did not cheat for the first year because I'm just excessive like that. And then once I had all the weight loss, I didn't cheat really. I mean, if I did, it was like once or twice in the year for the next year because I was scared of rebounding. But now I'm like going 4 or 5 years. Don't remember the exact date. And I know that, I can go off keto that first day of carbing up, probably put on 5 pounds, maybe even 7. That's just water weight. When you replenish glycogen stores in your muscle, when glucose, the sugar, is stored in the muscle, it's attached to water. So you actually hold on a lot more water. And as you're using those glycogen storage, you're going to use the glucose for energy, and the water will enter the bloodstream and be peed out. That's why hockey players with significant amount of muscle mass, they can lose 20 pounds in one hockey game. It has nothing to do really with fat, all that weight. It has to do with the shifting of water depending on your glycogen storage. I hope you liked the introductory video and just going through for sure 36 pounds. Yeah, congrats, man, Pat. Good job. Hey, Jules. If you guys have any comments or questions, please put them in cap lock. So if there's more people that join and you guys are just having a chat within the community, that I'm not, creating too much dead airtime by trying to triage through the comments. Bruce says, never give up meat, like you say, Pat, but it is good that you tried just greens for a while. Good tests and lots of weight loss. Yeah, I mean, people that go vegan for, I'm not saying that you're going vegan, but even people that go vegan that come from a standard American diet, once they go vegan, you can be a junk food vegan, and Oreos are vegan kind of thing. but a lot of times when they're going vegan, they're talking about plant-based veganism, and there's definitely a calorie restriction that occurs with veganism because it's not calorie dense enough, eating a lot of fiber. They call you're pooping all the time, which I don't know. I guess that's preference. Maybe that's a good thing. Seems like vegans are proud about it. And so what happens is over time, though, if somebody adopts a vegan diet, nutritional deficiencies do appear. Some of these vitamins that we can become deficient over time with, we can have years of storage supply. So anybody really going from crappy diet to even just not eating for months. If you're like 300 pounds, you could fast for 30 days. You could fast probably more. I'm not suggesting something as drastic as that, but if you look at the complete guide to fasting, I suggest this book if you want to get into serious fasting. This is by Jason Fung. I was going to read his testimonial quickly, and then after we'll let Bruce on and he can give us an update. Bruce had technical difficulties. His whole computer exploded right in front of him, I guess. And there was also some shenanigans trying to get the computer, just stupidities and stuff like that delayed the process further. So people often adopting a vegan diet, they'll also feel great. You can eat no food at all if you're very obese and have been eating just, the middle aisle of the grocery store, straight up not eating. You'll feel that you have amazing energy. You'll start losing weight. I just don't think, well, personally, I know, but I'll be humble. I don't think that it is sustainable. One of the major reasons is that plants have their version of nutrients. For example, they'll say, you look at the side of a Centrum bottle, they'll say vitamin A, but if you look at it, it's beta carotene. And beta carotene is a precursor. So you take the beta carotene, and depending on your body's ability, it can be converted into the active form of vitamin A. And people can vary anywhere from 65% conversion to right down to 6. And vitamin A is an important fat soluble vitamin. So people adopting vegan diets, if genetically or because of gut health, they can eventually have quite a significant vitamin A deficiency. There's also the carotenoids, which is what makes the carrots orange, let's say. Some people don't have the ability to convert that, and you can get a keratinosis. You'll literally turn orange. Your eyeballs will cloud up your skin, and it causes major health issues. So vitamin A in plants is not the active form which we get in animal food. All the vitamins in animal source nutrition, they're all in a bioavailable form, and they're ready to be used by your body. So we don't just have vitamin A. We know we always hear vitamin B12. That's a big issue, and that's usually the only one that you hear about. But there's a wide variety, as well as some minerals. The other thing is, and it's one of the reasons why sometimes people will go on a carnivore diet, is that these plants do have defense mechanisms. They have phytochemicals that are defense mechanisms, and some people may not realize it, but they may have intolerances, and their autoimmune system is reacting to these phytochemicals, these plant chemicals, and you can have autoimmune issues. So a lot of people that may be obese or not will try something called a carnivore diet. If you're eating just animal food, a wide variety, I consider that a carnivore diet. But often when people speak of a carnivore diet, they're talking about fatty cuts of meat with salt and water. Very, very restrictive. But if you want to lose weight and you have ailments that the doctors can only push pills on, it might be worth doing a month or two of just beef and salt and water. You can take a multivitamin if you wish. I suggest it. But besides that, some people's ailments really clear up. And then after, you don't have to remain on a carnivore diet strictly. You can start adding more a keto style of eating, slowly reintroducing foods as you wish, taking a good 2 weeks before you just start bombarding all the previous foods you ate. Check it out, wait 2 weeks. If you're more patient, wait longer, and just, look at your body. Just, kind of play it by ear how you feel. Me personally, when I add grains, causes stomach issues. My back flares up. Even berries. I buy these frozen berries. Who knows what these farms spray, what kind of pest controls and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's the berries themselves. Actually, the fact that I eat literally a trough of berries. I'm not very good at moderating carbohydrates, so I'm better just staying off of them for sure. But I mean, that goes with tolerance as well. So as I've mentioned before, ketogenic diet, I highly suggest it for weight loss. You naturally restrict your calories, and you're not hungry all the time. That's one of the huge differences. I'm going to pop up just the presentation just to review quickly, and we're going to look at the time, and we're going to let Bruce on shortly. I sent the link, Bruce, in your email. If you are new, just write in cap locks, new, and we will prioritize the stream for you. The first link that Darla Lama posted was my Patreon page. Darla, I keep on changing. Is it $3.50 American and $5 Canadian? Let me know. I don't want to be lying to people, but it seems like I thought I started with $5 Canadian. The Patreon page allows me to go on there every day to communicate with you one-on-one. If you have a question, I'll make a video, because most of the time the questions that you may have, other people will probably have as well. I used to coach people for free and give my contact numbers, and I'd be doing one person here, one person there, repeating myself over and over, because really, if anybody's been following the channel, I'm sure Bruce could vouch for this. It's not that complicated. It seems, learning what glycogen is, insulin, things like that, the macronutrients, understanding carbs is basically sugar. After a while, it's quite simple. Sorry, give me a second. Hello? Hey, I'm doing a stream as usual. Can you call your mom? No, it's okay. I love you. Bye. My girlfriend. No, it's not my girlfriend. It's my son. Oh, sorry. I just put my phone up like that to make sure there's no funky monkey business. So please share this one if ever there's somebody you're talking to and they don't know much about it. Give your testimony if you've had success with keto, fasting, intermittent, prolonged fasting like my brother. And please share this video. Let's talk ketogenic diet. And this is in the videos. I think it's the second video that I made. Here is the beginner list for keto. It's basically all the meats. Stick to water, coffee, bone broth, and seltzer. Watch out, the bone broths that you get at the store usually have seed oils in them. You can have, in small amounts, nuts, seed if you wish. The vegetables, you can have as much as you want. Just stay away from the starchy ones. And dairy, I would avoid milk during the weight loss phase, because It is basically, there's galactose in there, so there's a sugar in there. Use cream. I don't care if it's 10, 18%, whatever you want. And cheese, all variety of cheese. Feel free to consume that. The fruits are GMO'd. They're extremely sugary. They're low in fiber now. They make them as big, plump, and sugary as possible. So berries, once in a while. And I don't tell people to weigh things or to count calories or anything. It's more like eat the keto food list to satiety and avoid the right when they're in red. And just eat to satiety. A lot of the dry red wines won't ruin you if you want to be sociable. They have nowadays like 90 calories per beer kind of thing. Technically, you can still, if you bang in like 30 grams of carbs in your day because you had a few beers with your friends, not the end of the world. Just keep on track and don't get off track. Some people, they have carb addictions like me, and just a little bit before you know it, you're downtown in a dumpster, you're missing a shoe, and you have nail polish and a bag of Doritos, and you don't remember how you got there. So if you're like me, then it's best for everyone involved to stay away as much as possible. So yeah, fruits and stuff, bananas, grapes and stuff, pretty high in sugar. Here you'll see carrots, corn, and everybody puts butter on corn, right? Corn on the cob. So stay away from a lot of the starchy vegetables. Avoid the fats that are in bottles like the plague. Canola, corn oil, peanut, safflower, sesame, soybean, sunflower. These are all toxic. They are literally toxic seed oils. They're very high in omega-6, which gives you an omega-3 deficiency because you're overdosing on omega-6. They're actually industrialized oils. So they'll throw in, let's say, soybean oil. They'll put it in a vat, pressurize, heat it. They'll throw industrial textile solvents like hexane. This extracts the oil. The oil looks like grease and stinks. So they further deodorize. It's safe because they evaporate the hexane from there. These are polyunsaturated, so they're not solid. And because they're polyunsaturated, they're very brittle. So even in the processing of these seed oils, there's oxidation that occurs. There's damage to the fat. And a lot of people, unfortunately, they cook with canola oil and things like that. Yes, the olive oil, avocado oil, as well as coconut oil. I can't say really that those are bad, but like I said, do not cook with any oil. The issue with the avocado and the olive oil is that the food industry is so darn corrupt that at this point, they're putting the seed oils in it. Just give me a second. It's better if maybe you actually see me. There. I hope it was working before. Yeah, Pat. Okay, good. I thought like for some reason there was something up. Let's pop this guy back up. Won't be long, Bruce. So just going through very quickly, I advocate for a ketogenic diet for weight loss. I'm comfortable with a carnivore diet. I do encourage as well for a carnivore diet that you add organ meat or liver. I say that even if I am not a fan of it, but I do think it's very important. Liver, as well as any other organs, chicken hearts and things like that, are extremely beneficial. And a lot of people don't know, especially if you're going to be on a prolonged carnivore diet, that liver has vitamin C in it. So don't overcook it. And you will even get the vitamin C that's required. So I would say that I'm fine with a low carb and not a high fat diet. It's a higher fat diet for maintenance that can be individualized based on your activity level, based on your body composition. People with larger muscle mass will be able to still what I would consider a low carb diet, but they'll be able to consume more. And you should understand eventually that the carbs are fuel. If you just had a large carb meal, then you had another one, you haven't been physically active, even if you're athletic, chances are you probably don't need a third or fourth carb meal. Also, I would suggest that you do, when you're training, you train fasted, and then right after you have one or two meals where you can introduce carbohydrates, and then you remain fasted until the next day. You enter the gym fasted again, you beast, you feast, and then you fast. If you're managing to pull off, let's say you can squish it into 20 hours and you have a meal, and then 4 hours later you have another meal, you're going to get extra growth hormone spikes because because the insulin is low, and it allows growth hormone secretion, which is very beneficial as well. Fasting just naturally comes about with keto. You'll finally understand the difference between cravings and actual hunger. And by doing the even just intermittent fasting over time, it allows a healing mechanism called autophagy. This is never really activated at all if you're doing 3 small meals with snacks in between. This is just a darn lie. The only time we're fasted is when we sleep for 8 hours. And at very minimum, it should be the complete opposite. You should be eating within an 8 hour window at minimum, and allowing at least 16 hours of fasting in between. This can be done very easily by, let's say, a typical person. They eat at 6 p.m. with the family, have a nice large meal, protein, fat from animal sources, optional vegetables on the side. Then after you don't eat for the evening, if you have enough animal protein and fat, you shouldn't be craving snacks in the evening. Then let's say you get up. Some people get up early. Even if you get up at 6, you're already 12 hours into the fast. You stretch it to 10, then there's your 16 hours of fast. Maybe even stretch it till 12 or 1. Again, I advocate for the avoidance of all these seed oils, and as well the products that contain them. And that's basically the whole middle section of your grocery store. Start flipping the boxes, looking at packaged foods, and you'll notice that there's seed oils in everything. Again, carbohydrates consumption, it has to be individualized, and that's basically by teaching you the purpose of carbohydrates, what occurs with insulin, what glycogen is, and it's pretty simple. It's not that hard to understand. So it's really understanding the biochemical reaction of the foods that we eat. There's no calorie counting, like I showed you on the 2 posters there. It's eat these food, don't eat these food. That's pretty much it. And eat when hungry. This allows for a natural variation in the macronutrients that you eat. Maybe you'll have a pretty lean, you have like some lean steaks. All right. So it's a much leaner day. It's a higher protein day than another day. There's a lot more fat. And just by not counting anything, but just knowing to avoid the carbohydrates or to seriously restrict them, almost avoiding them. And then after, you might be hungry for 2 days, and you might end up having 3 meals. Then you'll wake up, and that day it's like, man, I'm not even hungry. Then don't eat that day. Just see how you feel tomorrow. So understanding that carbohydrates are non-essential, but it doesn't necessarily mean that carbohydrates are the devil. They have a use, but what we're being told is that whatever age, whatever weight, whatever activity level, just eat the majority of your carbs the majority of the food you're eating as carbs. Nutrition and Physical Degeneration by Weston A. Price. You can check that on Amazon. It's an amazing book. And why carnivore? I've already explained that. It's a great way. It's considered ketogenic as well. You're eating fat and protein. But if you're having health issues, sometimes it's worth eliminating all plant sources, all plant material, to see if you're reacting to any of the phytonutrients. Calories play a part, but it's not as simple as calories in and calories out. You have to look at the hormonal influence of different macronutrients, fat, protein, carbohydrates. They have different influences on insulin. When insulin is secreted in the bloodstream, you're considered an anabolic state. This allows nutrients and energy to enter the cells, but if you have too much of that energy, it will be stored as fat. There's also different influences on satiety. So the protein and fat found in animal food will keep your ghrelin and leptin. These are hunger signals and satiety signals regulated well. When you start overdosing on carbohydrates, it actually starts messing up the ghrelin and leptin. Even there's some hormones that you can get resistance to. Insulin is pretty much a hormone, and we know we can get insulin resistance as well when we have unhealthy body fat. There's white fat and there's brown fat. Brown fat is beneficial. It's what generates heat for the body. But when we have an excess of the white fat that generally is around our midsection, it as well can secrete certain biochemical molecules, hormones that can cause inflammation and further dysregulate your metabolism. So it's important to understand that glucose, carbohydrates, strictly fuel. That's the only thing that your body can do with it. When we're talking about fat, it can be an alternate fuel source if carbohydrates are restricted. This alternate fuel source is as well part of the body composition. It's what builds your body. All of your hormones are made of fat, vitamin D, cholesterol as well. Every cell has a lipid, a fat membrane. All of your brain is 60% fat, 20% cholesterol. The lining over all of your nervous system is fat and cholesterol. So when you've taken out the non-essential carbohydrates and you're using it, if you want, strategically, you understand what the purpose of it is for, and you're working with fat, you have fat having a dual purpose. It can be used as energy, and it is also necessary. It's a building block of your body. This idea of consuming 65% of all your calories as energy is stupid. It's ridiculous. We're being lied to, and that's why we're so sick. So different usage in the body, protein as well. People that go on just a high protein diet will lose a lot of weight as well, but it's not sustainable. You need fat or you'll die. Also, you have to take into consideration combinations of macronutrients, the worst being fat and carbs at the same time. Mixing those fuels is a big no-no. What's the definition of junk food? Fat and carbs mixed together. You have to watch out for those legumes, because the legumes have protein, fat, and carbs. So if you're trying to get your protein from plant sources, usually the beans are the go-to for vegans, but you are going to be squishy fat, skinny fat, they call it, because you're trying to get the protein from all the legumes, but they're combined with fat and carbs. So you got to watch that out too. So we have to look at the long-term influence on our metabolism, and it's a known fact, and we can see that in the scientific literature. Beautiful example from Business Insiders. Most Biggest Loser winners regained the weight they lost, and it reveals a disturbing truth behind many diets, except for the one that I'm talking about, keto, not an issue. Is the ketogenic lifestyle sustainable? So when we're looking at calories, a low-fat, high carb diet, this is what they're telling you, okay? Low-fat, high carb. Then they say to reduce the calories by counting them, okay? This will make you hungry the whole time that you're losing weight. Then they're telling you, why don't you exercise more? So calorie restrict, okay? Eat the majority of the food as fuel, skimp on what you need, the fat and the protein, and then go run on a treadmill, like a gerbil, like a hamster on a wheel. And what happens when you put in a huge day of exercise? You're more hungry. So you're constantly fighting hunger. And we know from The Biggest Loser, your reward is that you're going to regain it all, and your metabolism is trashed. And that can happen depending on the severity of the restriction, up to 6 years before it starts recovering. When you're doing a low carb, high fat diet, the calories naturally are decreased. That's because you actually feel satiety. You feel full. So yes, that's why I said calories do matter, but it's not a simple math equation. Okay, you can't just bring your calories 500 deficit and just lose weight until you're a skeleton. Your metabolism is always trying to balance itself out with the calories that are going in. So you might go like this, you might lose some weight, but it'll slowly tone itself down. Then you're dropping. Before you know it, I kind of say this often, you're the fat guy eating a salad in the cafeteria, obese, and everybody else is having tacos. Keto plus fasting helps to protect your metabolism. And because I'm telling you not to count calories, the importance of that is you don't let your body figure anything out. There's a constant variation. Oh, I didn't eat yesterday. I had only one meal, today. Oh, I was hungry. The next day I had 2 meals. This meal had, a lot more fat in it. I'm not hungry. I'm not going to eat at all for the rest of the day. Oh, this was a lean protein day. Just don't keep it constant. So low fat, high carb ruins your metabolism, and don't let people tell you that if you're taking out the pasta, rice, grains, legumes, that somehow continuing to eat the majority of your plate fat and protein from animal foods, that somehow because there's no more sidekicks or spaghetti noodles that are processed carbs, that there's a secret nutrient in there that you won't acquire from eggs, from liver, from beef. It's a lie. I'm going on 5 years now. I succeeded with keto and fasting. I have done, weeks at a time of just ground beef. That's usually what I'll do. Buy a pack of ground beef and I'll eat that consecutive days until I'm done, and then just, go on to other things. So I do have a variety. When I first lost the weight, I started at 225. If you saw the start of my live stream, you'll notice that there was me in a red sweater. That was me pretty much at my heaviest. I then went down to 176. I've been able to keep that off. Just recently, a few months ago, I went to 170. And when I go off and I'm not keto and I'm low carbish, I'm not that consistent, I go up to around 195. I've never gone above that because overall it's still quite low carb. So I find that I'm not depressed, even if I do let myself go for a few weeks or something like that. I put on weight, but I understand the science of food and I know exactly what I have to do. So I decide how much I weigh. Nothing is fixed. That's the variation that I was talking about. There's nothing dangerous about constant ketosis. Look, if you're going to have, if you're not counting calories, maybe you're going to have a big meal of protein. That excess protein will be changed through gluconeogenesis, the creation of glucose. That'll probably pop you out of ketosis for a while. Have a trough of berries like I do. You pop in and out of ketosis. The only time that ketone levels should be kind of measured or maybe important is if you're trying to treat an illness with ketosis, such as epilepsy. Um, Also, when you're fat adapted or keto adapted, what happens is your body, the energy storehouse inside cells, your mitochondria, they're like the powerhouses in the cell. They become fine tuned, they become more efficient at using ketones as a fuel. So, a lot of people, when they start, they might hover around 2 millimoles per liter, maybe 3. But once you're well adapted, then they're almost like zero point 0.4. If you do a blood test in Canada, 0.4 and below is considered normal. So ketones are not poisonous. Like I said, protein excess gets converted to glucose. That will stop ketosis. So for people saying, oh, ketosis long term can cause issues. If you think it causes issues, then pop yourself out of ketosis once in a while by having a lot of protein, or have a decent bowl of berries and nuts, and then something magical will happen. Ketosis won't hurt you. Again, I don't deal with athletics. More geared towards obese people that are sick. The metaphor of the alcoholic, you hear some people say like, yeah, but when you stop ketosis, when you stop the keto diet, you put all the weight back. Yeah. So what's that telling you? It probably means that, ketosis or low carb is a lot closer to what humans are adapted to eat. It's like an alcoholic that quits and he's like, I'm not quitting anymore. Why? What's up? Every time I go back to alcohol, everything comes back and everything's screwed up. So what's the point? Well, no, exactly. You shouldn't be doing all that as an alcoholic. And every time you stop, things improve. So don't go back there. Also, quitting smoking. People feel that it's restrictive, the ketogenic diet or carnivore diet. We can ask Bruce that question shortly. It is not restrictive. Most people do it for weight loss and decide to stay on because they enjoy how it feels. These are examples of the diet that supposedly will kill us all, will make your heart explode. These are videos that you can go see in the old archives. They're worth seeing. You can check those out. They're in videos. I look like I have a duckbill right there. So these are worth watching. And as well, there's my Patreon page too. Let's let Bruce on to the stream. All right, Bruce, time to press the link. Like 45 minutes with my brother. Go to the questions. Give us a a little more detail about your diet. So you're eating vegetables as a side dish. What else are you eating? Combo. Yeah, yeah. You could you can lose weight. Believe me, if you're doing Darla, just meat and greens and some keto fat. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. As long as you're eating some meat and stuff like that, you want to get the animal fat. That's where all the fat soluble vitamins are. The omega-3, omega-6. I was talking about. I was poo-pooing on omega-6 in the seed oils, but all animal food has a ratio of omega-3 and omega-6. So as long as you avoid those seed oils and you avoid the middle section of your grocery store, your ratio should be good. Hey man, thanks for your patience.
Hey, no problem. I was in the feed, so it takes 2 seconds. I have to
Yeah.
go over to Chrome. Now with this computer, I don't have any lag or any hackers yet, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty fast for now. I
That's
lost
great.
I lost some weight, buddy.
All right. So give for people, I know they probably know you here, but if somebody's watching this after, maybe give a full testimony right up to now, kind of where you were, what you ate, like, as if you're, just a general testimony. You're talking to somebody who's brand new and you just want to say your story. You got the mic.
When I was very young, I was 4.5 years old, and I was walking by the river. No, that'd be so long starting at that age, eh? No, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Listen, when we started, I said I was 300, right? But
Yeah.
I had fasted, bro, a week and a half, literally like 10, 11 days before getting on the balance. When I got on the balance, I was 300 pounds. So I could
Wow.
have been anywhere. And like, I'm not going to exaggerate it. For sure, I wasn't 315. I wasn't 312, but I could have been 305 to 308, maybe even 310. Because in a week and a half, I would have lost some water weight too, a lot of water weight.
A lot.
So that's probably, so 300, 305. So right now I'm 214. That's 5, 6. About a week ago, I weighed myself at 214. And I had just done another 7-day fasting straight, 7 days, just water again, less exercise. Like that's the difference. When I was exercising, the weight loss was almost scary. And now while fasting, I'm still losing weight. As a matter of fact, this month, even though I'm that low now in the weight, I lost anywhere from 12 to 14 pounds in the month. It's about 4 or 5 pounds a week. And that's without the exercise, without walking. But I say no exercise. I picked plums for 3 days. I cut the grass. I did a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
You have to let me know how those plums, what they taste like too.
Yeah, I have them.
Eat them warm. So 305. So first month, 40 pounds, then like 28, 32 pounds, something like that. Second month, then again, over 20 pounds, like for a total of like between 80, 90 pounds so far there. In other words, when I hit 200, I will have lost anywhere from 100 to 110 pounds. And right now at 214, my goal weight was 225.
Yeah.
And I started April 12th. Also, I forgot to say. So look, April 12th, and we're August now, at the end of August. So 3-4 months, and just the 3 months, I had lost 75 pounds in the 3 months for sure. So,
do you mind if I show basically what you looked like 4 months ago on the streams?
No, not at all. No, actually, no, actually, honestly, it's almost a trophy, man. I have a special video coming up, me on my music channel, bro. One of my songs I sang, I looked like Andre the Giant. I'm telling you, I just the face and the head, like, what the hell? And I didn't think I had lost that much weight. When I saw the comparison with my face, I'm like, holy shit. Like I couldn't even see my leather chair. You could just see the edges of the chair,
No, that's it. Here.
Well, that's the one. Yeah, absolutely, eh? Well, that's encouraging. Holy motherfucking shit, eh?
Yeah. Your eyes too were really dark.
Yeah, no, that's because of the tan. My eyes are dark right now. The same thing. It's because of the tan. That's why I'm always tanned, to hide the dark eyes. Every time I get a tan, people go, "Oh, your eyes look healthy." When I was fasting, my eyes got darker. They stay the same. But I had a sore eye for a long, long time. You could see my right eye. The right eye is from rubbing, man.
Yeah.
Like it looks irritated. It's so irritated. As a matter of fact, it was moving. Holy fuck. Who's that? It was moving. So my eye at one point was moving slower than the right one. Like it was not lubricated. It was like totally almost just locked forward,
Jeez. 3 months ago. Even it lost fast because here we are. 3
That's
months.
Incredible, eh?
So that was, see, look at this. That 4 months is what we just showed. Let me pop this one on.
Yeah.
That's how quick it was. Like I was guessing that you were probably had edema, like unhealthy, water retention too, not just like in your muscles.
Yeah, it's my swollen cheeks. Here's the thing. On the right, the whole right side of my face is swollen. Literally grab your finger. Oh, you can't. Yeah, so you can't put it on screen. You can see that. Honestly, stop it right there. The left side. Yeah, right there. The left side of my face, which is the right. Yeah, that side is completely normal. You can see the whole fucking ear. Look on the right side. The right side, the cheekbone, the chin. Yeah, go all the way down the neck. Even the right part of the shoulder. It was all swollen. And some days it was a lot worse. But then when I gained weight, well, that swollen face, well, then it starts to really starts to show, you know. But that's just being a big guy, man. I've always been big.
Just 1 month, it was drastic.
I
encourage you guys to go see Bruce, but scroll through and see how quick. But I mean, fasting, not a lot of people are able to do like you did, you know, like prolonged fasts like that.
No, it wasn't easy at the beginning. It was easy and not easy, but in a way, it actually is easy. What isn't easy is that free will. I'm the first to scream to have free will, but because I have free will, I have problems regulating. You know what you talked about, the trough of berries?
Yeah.
It always makes me laugh, but it makes me think of me. So in other words, you'll go two years without eating it, but if the neighbor sells troughs, you're crossing the street.
Yeah.
Like you can't see them. I can't. That's why I emptied my fridge. Even cheese. I can eat cheese, but I haven't since April. And I craved it every day, and I still do. Like, honestly, if I was to sit down and really think of it, like noodles, you know?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I miss that. And Pat goes, yeah, I ate a lot of noodles. I ate noodles once a week. I said, Pat, I ate twice a day. Noodles. Yeah. Two meals a day.
With cheese so that you have fat
and sauce and whatever type of meat I can throw in there. Make a, always an hors d'oeuvre, like a mixed skillet of meats and pastas and fats and greases and salt. Don't forget the salt.
Your eyes don't look black at all, at least compared to that.
Well, they actually are.
Well,
because now I'm tan
here, but I'm talking about what we just saw there.
I'll tell you what, they're not. They look less sunken because at one point when my cheeks start getting pudgy and chubbier, well, your eyes look sunken, you know. But at the same time, look at it the way you want. I lost weight around the eye there. When losing almost 100 pounds, you lose weight everywhere in your face, around the eye, you know. At least I don't have that, that puppy dog cartoon there with the droopy cheeks. I could have not really, So I said if I lose it at 48 instead of 75 there. But honestly, right now I'm looking at my eyes in the screen like that there, and it's what I looked like when I was 22, 21. I remember my eyes, like the look of my eyes when I started working at 21 there at a certain place. I'm starting to remember more what I used to look like,
Yeah. No, it's
a major difference. It's a major difference.
It's a huge difference.
The neck and everything, and I'm still really square here. So but now that's what's being lost now. Now it's chest and abs and that there is going down sides, the back and stuff. I can feel it tightening up. I have to get that, and then after that it'll be training, but not to build meat there, just to be maintain and have a nice cut.
Resistance training is good.
Like I'm talking 20 pounds, 20, 25 pounds, just little dumbbells once in a while, just to maintain.
Yeah,
I don't want no overdoing it with the back or anything. No big press, bench press or anything.
They say just to put a little bit of demand on your muscles, kind of signals to your body, hey, I'm using it. Don't because you can have a little bit of muscle loss too there during weight loss and stuff like that. But
for sure,
a little bit of effort and stuff like that is always a good idea. So you at your let's say most intense, it was you were doing 7 days, right? 7-day water fast.
I did 8 days straight was the longest. And then I redid 2 more 8 days, at least 2 more 7 days, lots of 3s and 4s.
After the 8 days of fasting, you would have just one meal and then jump back into it, or you had like 2 days off?
I've done the 2 days, eat at 6 o'clock at night, then the next day eat another meal, just as big. And then after that, 5-6 days again, and then back to a meal, and then I skip a day and then maybe 2 days, maybe only 48-hour fasting, and I go right to a meal again. You know,
Okay.
it's always
What
entertaining.
what were the staple foods that you were eating? Not now, but
Egg, hamburger meat. I haven't changed. Egg, hamburger meat, pork chop
great.
with
Yeah.
some bacon. I eat some bacon too, and
Yeah.
chicken. That's it. But nothing else. Like
That's great.
literally nothing else. There's
Yeah.
one there. A guy gave it. I was supposed to give it to you, but I actually ate it. I had to try it. The konjac. It's
What is it?
vermicelli konjac, only 5 calories, but I guess it could be still wheat in it or not. It's a
Oh.
replacement, like for noodles and stuff like that. I don't know. Is it true? Does that really just have 5 carbs? You think?
It could be. It's very thin, eh? Vermicelli.
It is. It's like
Yeah.
it's like paper, like real almost paper thin.
Yeah.
And
I like
I
it,
didn't
but
use it with sauce. I grabbed a handful of it. Well, that's what was in the box. I wanted to. No, I put it with the hamburger meat, right in the hamburger meat. That's it.
Yeah.
Just mixed in
Yeah.
the hamburger meat. I cut it up and I started eating it. I ate all the noodles first, and then after that I ate the meat. I was like eating and salivating, and my mouth was spitting out. But here's the weird thing. The konjac for me, the vermicelli is 7 times tastier than pasta. For me,
I like it too.
I prefer that than pasta. I tasted it once there, and I probably wouldn't eat it every day. But if it's only 5 carbs, konjac 5 carbs. What else did it say? It's vermicelli, also made in China. So I'm going to limit
I
myself.
was gonna say it's an Indian, not Indian, Chinese food and stuff.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
it's Chinese. Yeah, it's like it literally looks like white paste, almost like it's all together, like it's sort of like elongated rice, sort of thing. But it's very good.
Yeah.
I was surprised. Didn't put any salt or anything on it. Just straight up in the meat. Just the raw taste of the noodle was good. But again, I was craving pasta though. Honestly, I never eat plain pasta. I always put sauce on it. Now just imagining eating plain pasta, I'd have 6 handfuls of just plain pasta. Make a ball in my hand. Make a thick pasta ball in my hand and just fucking eat it, you know.
Like usually what I do is let's say I'm in a hurry and stuff like that. There's a Chinese general store there. I said general store because they won't know what depanar means, but I'm sure they put sugar a bit in there. Everybody puts sugar in the meat sauce, but I'll grab that. I'll put like cheese curds there that we get, and I like spicy, so I'll put like jalapenos in it, Parmesan cheese. And so I make it into like a stew basically instead of.
And my volume's not too loud, Jason, either. No, because now I have speakers. Like I only had the speakers that were in the computer, but now I have that Focusrite for the music with the speakers there.
Yeah.
So.
No, it sounds good. Doesn't sound too loud at all.
Look now. Talk. Say testing.
Me testing.
You hear it? I put it up to 3. It's like
it's only 3.
Yeah. Bump this up for the music. It's crazy.
Wow. So we got to get. Oh, go ahead. Go.
Yeah, I'm maintaining. I'm still fasting, and I'm not cheating at all. I haven't stopped or quit alcohol. Once in a while, I have some wine, but I don't touch any beer. I'd love one, but I don't at all. No whiskey either. Never, not even once since April. I had that one bottle in April, and that was it. I had it quickly too. Oh no! Oh well, I'll get rid of it quick. 2 nights like that, you know. But honestly, when I did that, and even when I was young, man, for me, that's what it did. Had like a lot 1 night or 2 nights, and I got sick of it real quick. Right? For me, that's what it did. It's like I got sick of it quick. It's like I couldn't, It's the taste wasn't the best, and wine, because I can't drink a lot of it, so I have a 1/4 cup, just at night and chill and stuff like that, or maybe even half a cup once in a while. But I'm still.
There's like keto alcohol. Most of the hard stuff is very low in carbs and stuff like that. Wine, red wine, usually like a dry Shiraz or something like that.
Is it? Is hard stuff low in carbs?
Yeah. Like vodka, it's just alcohol. It's like rubbing alcohol. So there's no carbs.
It's not too late to bring back the wine. I haven't opened it yet. No.
Yeah, no, that's it. No, like
No,
yeah. Here, I'll pop it up.
yeah,
Keep on
because
talking.
somebody told me people were telling me the opposite.
Let me check about the brown stuff there, but like tequila is like.
Oh, but there is sugar in it though, right?
Hey.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of sugar in it though.
No, not really, because the sugar right ferments, and that's what the yeast eats, and it becomes alcohol.
All right, well, I'll be right back, buddy. I'm just gonna go get
Yeah, exactly.
a bottle of whiskey, and I'll be back in a minute. You put a sign up, back in a minute, you know.
Let me just try and find like maybe a chart.
Whiskey chart.
Yeah, beer. Okay, let's check this site out. Diet Doctor is actually a good site. I used to watch it, Diet Doctor, when I was learning and stuff.
Yeah.
Best and worst alcohol drinks for keto. There. All right. Let's see what Diet Doctor says. Keto alcohol, the best and worst drinks. So looking at
it says wine and beer is okay. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So you can close it now.
Well, beer, yeah, beer is 13. I mean, you have those like 90 calorie beers too. You know, they're like 4% or if.
Well, that's a big difference. Yeah, if you take 4% beer, it's watered down a bit more.
Yeah,
it's probably like a 9 or an 8 or.
No, that's it. Here's beers, various beers, keto friendly beers.
So now everyone at home is running to the fridge to open a beer, guaranteed.
Yeah. See this? Look, whiskey 0.
What?
Yeah. So tequila, brandy, whiskey, dry martinis, and stuff like that. So I'm not sure rum alone, but
holy shit, I didn't know that.
But yeah. So
what's
if you
wine?
take whiskey and like ginger ale, they have diet ginger ale.
What about brandy?
Yeah,
no, they don't have brandy. Oh, it's right there. What the hell?
Yeah. So
are you serious?
Yeah.
Jeez, I'm gonna stop drinking water.
He's just gonna whiskey fast.
Brandy and whiskey. Monday through Wednesday, I do brandy and a whiskey on the weekends and Mondays and Wednesdays.
That's it. Let me put this here. We can't see each other. All right. Yeah. So whiskey.
What about wine?
The wine is up here, I guess. At the SAQ, they tell you how much carbs, right near the price. If you look, there'll be a little how many grams per. I don't know if it's per bottle or what.
Right.
So I mean, it's not.
Well, you know, when you see a wino, buddy, when you see a wino, you'll see. Okay, he'll have a swollen face, but it's more the hard stuff. But they're not fat. But if you see somebody that drinks a lot of beer will often have a gut.
Yeah,
and I don't
look at this crap. The coolers there, the Bacardi Breezers, 30 grams each one of them.
Oh, you see, that would explain though. Holy shit, that would explain my 17 to 26 though. Because you know what? I don't like the beer. I like the sweet drinks. Yeah, and the highest one in alcohol, like 5% or 6%.
They have now, all of these hard seltzers, and they're 0. They're 0 carbs to 1 carb.
What is that? What is that? A hard seltzer? Is that like Bartles Bartles and James is more like the sweet ones, right?
No, you've probably heard of White Claw.
No.
Claw. Yeah, I mean, you just go anywhere. All the depanars have it. Let me show you. They look like this. These are all
I never saw it.
1 gram. Yeah, go anywhere and you're just not noticing. You think it's an energy drink or something, But
well, I actually don't shop even in grocery store. Don't even look at the. I always go get the wine at the sack, a little box, and it'll last me all month.
It's called the hard seltzers. Coors as well makes.
And what's the there is there alcohol in it? You mean?
They're anywhere from 90 calories to 120 calories, and there might be 1 to 2 grams of sugar in it. So who cares about that?
Yeah.
Coors hard seltzer.
I never even heard. I've heard of the seltzer, but I didn't never tried it.
Yeah, the course sell almost all the brands now sell it. So if you want to be social or something like that, you
Yeah.
can. This will really not screw up your keto at all. You could like have your beer and drink
Right,
it
right,
together,
right. Well,
basically.
just the fact with the whiskey and me, it's because like I don't have any now, but uh
This is
when I
around
do have
this.
whiskey, I put just a bit in the coffee, just a topping,
Oh,
you
that's
know.
good.
Exactly. But see that's anyways, it's a secret. Everybody just says a fucking topping whenever a topping can be bloop
Yeah,
or
yeah, exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
you know.
It's like the size of my cup.
And
I
then you
just had
go,
one cup of coffee. It's
yeah,
like, boy,
and then you take a sip and you go like this. You take a sip. Ugh, too strong. I have to drink it down and add some coffee. The guy has it down, more coffee, a bit more. Blah, 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 blah.
It's funny.
Hey, Jason, there's a guy that
Yeah.
made a video and he calls himself an alcoholic and who doesn't like, who doesn't like alcohol. And then he makes a video of him opening a bottle of whiskey. But he opens
Yeah.
the bottle, he goes, and he's got a southern accent. He goes, the plastic sound when you tear the bottle off a brand new bottle, and you know you're going to be drinking all fucking night. He opens it up, and then he goes like this. He goes, I pour it several times, but I never let it come out. I just tease it. And he goes, boop, 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 boop. And I'm watching him. It's stupid, but I'm 17 minutes into it. I'm going, oh my God. It's like 80 million views or something on the
80
video.
million views. Yeah, of course.
And you read the comments and people are like, I'm drinking like a fish after this, because everyone wants to drink. He's doing everything to like entice the alcoholics. He's sitting there beside a microphone with a glass, and he's
Yeah.
pouring alcohol with the glass and throwing in the ice, and you hear that. He makes himself a gin tonic, and you hear
Yeah,
the tonic
sizzle.
water.
That's funny.
It's funny for sure. And some
Anyway,
people won't watch that. Fuck, it's like the guy just quit, and it's like, come on.
it's like people that when they quit smoking, it's like don't be the person that's like, oh, don't smoke in front of me. It's like if you quit smoking, you quit smoking. It's like
Exactly.
if you stop drinking, if that's it. You quit. Like
Exactly. Well, there's a limit to everything, and we're stuck controlling food limits, controlling temper limits. We got to control,
yeah,
limits of everything. How much we drink, how much we eat, how much time
yeah,
we do stuff. So if
exactly.
you're in good control, you're sort of always going without, but in a way, no, but a little bit all the time. But you sort of always have a little alcohol. It's never so. In other words, the guy that drinks all the time that's not an alcoholic, he just never really parties, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But he's always having a little bit of alcohol here or there. But then again, I think it's all like, look at me who has a glass of wine and I start getting a headache and I just don't really want to drink a bit more. And
yeah,
younger at the same time, somebody consumes marijuana with alcohol and stuff like that. Well, for
yeah.
me, when I was using sound like Vancouver guy, when I was on marijuana, when I tried it, I was able to almost not drinking because I just didn't need a
Yeah.
big buzz, just a little bit, so I wouldn't feel too queasy and stuff like that. But
Well, that's the problem with a lot of the kids. It's all or nothing. It's like, okay,
yeah, that's the scary
you
part.
smoke weed, okay, but it's like,
Yeah,
no,
man, and listen,
you don't smoke
drugs.
weed on the weekend. You work
Yeah,
Monday to Friday.
but
Oh,
drugs is cheaper today, man, than our parents in the 60s and you and I, our generation, the street drugs and pills and all that. Today it's cheap, $2, $5, like speeds and stuff like that. The kids, that is horrible. 15, 20 bucks.
Everything.
Yeah, 15, 20 bucks. They go buy 4 different types of fucking friggin' pills, and they can croak,
Yeah, like the kids nowadays, it's like, everything's 30%, 32% THC per gram. And
Exactly.
it's like they're smoking like an ounce a week, if not more, and then they're all having psychosis and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
no, yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
it's legal. It's it's benign. It's a
Hey, not to go political, and I won't. But real quickly, did you hear the inside news about Trump with his mugshot? Like they always arrest.
yeah. Well, I saw his
indicting
That
him
you
and
look like
stuff.
Zoolander, but I'm not
Oh yeah,
following. I mean, there's so many. They just keep on putting charge after charge when Biden is like
yeah.
freaking.
Well, you know what the black community said?
No,
And when I say black community, I'm talking like, um, what can I say? The blackest communities where there's the most black people that have always been,
yeah,
all around the states, and even gangs, white and black. They're not because it's just black. I'm not talking about gangs, but the
you're
gangs.
probably on his side,
They're
right?
talking, yes, and they
I love.
said they go Trump black. That's what they're saying now. Trump black.
Is that?
Okay.
Is that?
He goes, Trump is now a brother because Trump got arrested and they're trying to thrash him and stuff like that. So here you should see the videos. Hello, I'm in the United States. I'm an immigrant from India. I'm Muslim and I am voting Donald Trump. Trump 2024. And you see
Well,
people are going, it's amazing.
I might be speaking out of my butt, but this is just what I hear. Is that the whole thing about the Democrats allowing the borders just open? Is that usually immigrants will vote Democratic?
Yeah,
but now
exactly.
it's shooting them in the foot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was it Biden or was it? I think it was Biden said if you vote for if you vote for Trump or if you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Yeah, you ain't black. Exactly.
I think Biden is.
And years before that, he told a black guy in Congress that if he didn't settle down, they put him back in chains.
Oh,
he said, I will put your people back. It's horrific. I mean, it's not even something that somebody would even say actually, and he says it right on television, which is pretty crazy. Yeah. That's what's scaring me, Will, is the fent, because people will think it's something else, they'll think it's somebody can, somebody can think it's just a Valium or even those blue pills to get an erection. I'm serious, whatchamacall those pills.
Blow. People doing blow, and stuff like that, and there's fentanyl in there. You don't expect to go into like respiratory arrest when you're doing.
You see the police officer goes up to a car. He looks inside of the window, falls over. Man, that was a scary video, dude. It's filled with fent, and he looks in the window like that. He goes to open the door, and then he falls. But when he falls on his back with his eyes open, dead, like deceased. Like I was like, what? With fentanyl. You mean
the police officer?
Yeah, border patrol.
Smoke in it?
No. There was a little container with fent in it, a bunch of pills of fent. And it was closed. And he went up to the window like that, like to look through the window like that, to go left and right like that. Yeah. And then he fell backwards like that. He was too close to the car. They had boxes in back of fentanyl. And the guys, when they were driving, they must have had masks or something.
Yeah.
But just the emanation when he, because I guess there was a crack in the window or something like that. In other words, when the smell came from inside it, they had to give him Narcan. So they gave him Narcan right away to bring him back because he was dead. Like stopped breathing with his eyes open. Didn't even go, he just fell. So yeah, it was crazy.
Because fentanyl is used in anesthesia, like when I worked in the OR and stuff like that.
It's something for doctors they're using.
So 10 milligrams of morphine, then let's say you have Dilaudid is 5 times more potent than Dilaudid is 5 times more potent than morphine. So that's why 2 milligrams is equal to 10 milligrams of morphine. Fentanyl, 10 milligrams of morphine is the equivalent of fentanyl is 100 micrograms. Okay.
Yeah. So the guy I can just see a doctor. Oh shit! Right. I was doing 10-2, not 210. Shit. Okay, he's gone. No, he's gone.
Then they have sufentanil that 10 micrograms is equal to 10 milligrams of morphine, and then they have something else more potent that we use as an infusion. It's good because the minute you stop it eliminates itself.
But isn't that the rape drug? That's not the rape drug, right?
No. Rape is there's roofie.
That was another shit they were putting in something. Hey, they were leaving people like, come on, let's go home and have sex. Then people would get up and walk.
Well, there's a GHB there. That's it. Initially, the roofies there, but that's Rufinol. But yeah, man, the drugs that kids are playing with nowadays is like,
scary stuff. It's crazy stuff. And that was their goal. That was their goal, to bring in.
Well, they're decriminalizing, and I don't know what it means to decriminalize. Does that mean if a cop finds a certain amount of fentanyl?
Yeah, personal possession.
Well, like I'm like, I hope they're taking it away. I understand.
Yeah, I hope so, because that would be nuts. That's the guy's like, hey, what's in your pockets? Hey, I got 3 grams of coke. Okay, 3 grams. That's it. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And the guy's like this. Oh, it's 3 grams, officer. I swear. It's like, yeah, right.
No, it's crazy because it's like, okay, well,
how come? Anyways,
yeah, go ahead.
Dude, lips more red, tongue, fingernail stuff. The blood, when I bleed, is like a red like candy that I've never seen before. And I'm telling you that fasting, either I shit the fat out of me or something like that. There at one point that was happening too, by the way, like literally crap and grease. And it's like, what the hell? When I was losing weight the first month, it's incredible. I lost a lot of weight. I'm fine. I'm even finding my hat heavy right now. Oh, I'm kidding.
It's giving me a backache.
Yeah.
I'm sending out a invite if ever anybody wants to come on. We're gonna
come on.
We'll where's Pat? Pat should come on.
Pat, come on down. You're the next contestant on Price is Right.
Who recently?
Oh, he died. Bob Bob Barker.
Recently?
Yeah.
Was it Bob
yesterday?
Barker?
Yeah, yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah. So don't forget to get your pet spayed and neutered.
Yeah.
So we say.
That's hilarious. What else can we check out? Anything we can check out? We'll stop it in about 10 minutes. I promise. I promise. I'm trying to discipline myself. Like only an hour and a half.
No, right now. Well, yeah, and it's if not, it gets long even for you to listen.
No, it's not that. It's just.
I got the moon yesterday, man. I got a nice moon yesterday. First time in 3 darn months to get the moon. Like it was the first clear night. Yeah.
Did you have trouble setting up all the computer? It's a hassle, eh? It's a
actually surprising because what the system I had in mind is the exact system, and it's just faster. So it is the exact system. The problem is, like in my last video, I don't have an enhanced volume voice. When you listen to me, I sort of sound like a muffled, and it's not as nice as it was with my editor. But I didn't buy the editor yet. I'm going to wait a couple of weeks and stuff like that. Hey, hello.
We got Pat.
Right on.
Man. Thanks a lot for showing up.
Yeah. Oh, the audio.
Voice. You're on mute.
No, I don't. We don't hear him. Le micro, it's in settings. Is that it, Jason? Oui. En bas tu vas voir settings. Tu devrais être capable de cliquer audio, puis tu vas voir si faire un test, voir si ton audio fonctionne. C'est ça. Prends le temps, Pat, pour faire le test d'audio, puis you can get right back on after. It's just sometimes there when you come on these darn StreamYards or the audio takes possession. It's like it goes off sometimes.
You know Pat from your channel, right?
Yes, I've known Pat for over a year now, at least. It's been a while. He's both on the French and English channel. He's a member. He's contributed and everything a lot, and really good guy. We have fun. He's 36 pounds lost, Pat, so far.
Okay.
Yes.
We can hear you. Good. Tu parles plus en français ou tu parles en anglais aussi?
Either.
Okay.
Yeah, a Fringler. Okay, you're one of us.
Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Can you tell us what you've been doing? What you're trying with the way you're eating? What did you switch up or whatever?
Congratulations, Pat. 36 pounds. Congratulations, man.
The worst was health-wise.
Yeah.
I was pre-diabetic. I had high blood pressure.
Okay.
So woke up one morning after the Saint Jean, and I said, "Enough's enough."
Good for you, man. Good for you.
Everything one shot. Radical.
Yeah. Right on.
Wife thinks I look crazy, but hey.
Yeah, but she must be impressed though. she must be impressed though. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
she must saying, I can't believe he's still doing it. He's still doing it. He's still doing
Yeah.
it.
I mean, she's always like, yeah, but you got to eat carbs. No, I don't have to eat carbs. I don't
No.
want carbs.
That's it. No, and that's good, I guess, right, Jason? I mean, I don't want to,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I stopped it too. So when I cheat, I'm sorry, when I cheat, I just eat another meal. I don't eat the chips. I just go back to eating egg or something like that.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
what's the main staples that you're eating and stuff like that? Like you're doing keto or?
Hey, mostly I try to get my 5 to 10 cups of salad every day.
Okay.
Meat, chicken, steak.
Oh,
Egg.
Perfect.
that is,
So
you
it's
can't
pretty much keto.
yeah, you can't do any better than that. Wow.
I'm doing a bit of keto at the same time with the fat bombs to help the morning
Yeah.
stretch.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
Damn
Or-
right.
And you're doing are you doing the intermittent fasting also?
Yep.
Like a 16/8 or even more?
16/8. Every now and then I do a 24.
Okay.
Right
Yeah,
on.
like
I couldn't
That's
get
what
past 24 yet.
hey?
Oh no,
What's
it's
that?
something.
I couldn't get past the 24.
No, it's
No,
something else there. So I mean, some people are used to, I guess, eating 3 meals a day plus evening snacks. I could eat more snacks at night than I used to eat meals sometimes.
Yeah.
And all the snacks. And ever since I did this, well, all the pills for the diabetic is gone.
Yeah.
Hey, wow.
The high blood pressure, that's gone too. I'm down to half a pill left,
Yeah.
Holy shit, eh?
and that's it. And
Holy crap. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's a
past
drastic
3 months
change.
average was 5.2 for my sugars.
Wow, that's great. How long have you been on it?
Hmm.
Just this
Since
is
June.
still new or since
Started
June?
Get away, dog.
Did you have any did you feel kind of crappy when you first started?
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you feel like
Oh yeah,
Like
the first
keto flu, they call it?
release it wasn't funny, especially with
Yeah.
the difference in I guess what do you call the blood pressure, the difference in
Yeah.
dizziness when I working out because always bent over and all that.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. This is a major difference. And as for the weight loss too, bro, there, you know, when we start losing weight, like I haven't seen you before, you don't look chubby. I mean, I was a lot bigger than you. My face was like, you know, but you start noticing the tightening of the skin. If you're at 36 pounds, it's because you're starting to notice around the insides of the legs and the back and sides and stuff. And,
Yep.
or when you're turning around in your car to put your seatbelt on, you go, holy shit, things are starting to get, you know, looser and stuff. It's an amazing feeling.
No, it is.
Absolutely.
But like
you think you're gonna be keep on going like so
Oh, yeah.
far?
I'm into this intermittent fasting and stuff. I thought it would be harder, and it was actually easier than I thought.
Easier, and I guess just the fact that it helps with the diabetes and high blood pressure, just that almost makes you like, why would I stop? Like I don't have to take a pill or anything like that. And me, I had my sciatic nerve, man. My left leg once in a while would swell up just with like a sock that was too tight. And I'm like, oh, it scared me because I remembered like some grandparents or something had problems with that, like a swollen. Oh, I'm like, oh my God, I hope I don't get to that point where my sock is too tight that I'm going to lose my leg. And that was like a couple months ago. It's like, holy shit.
What's really sad about it is that no doctor would have told you to do this. The doctor would give you, let's say, glucophage, and then eventually, you need some insulin, and it just progressed. And
all they want to do is give out pills anyway. So
yeah, I had an endocrinologist.
Yeah, you know it, eh? That's what they do, Pat, eh? The goal is like, well, you have a problem there with that kidney or whatever, or that head or your ear or whatever, we'll give you those pills, but you could go deaf or blind, but at least it'll fix the other problems. Like,
exactly.
You know?
I remember when I was losing weight, the year of keto when I was starting and I was learning and I was watching. Also, I was very passionate because of the drastic health changes that I had and the loss of weight, and got really educated into it. And I was talking to a lot of colleagues and stuff. And there was because I work in the ICU, and there was an endocrinologist, and very arrogant lady. She would write in medical charts only doctor to doctor communication. She didn't even want to talk to nurses. Okay, that's the kind of
Wow.
God mentality. And I'm talking about fasting and keto, and she says, "Excuse me, but I'm an endocrinologist, and I don't agree with anything that you're saying, and I can't concentrate." Anyways, I was taken aback,
Are you
and
serious?
yeah, you know what, when you think that, oh, I should have said that, I would have said, well, I'm sorry, your eavesdropping is disturbing you so much.
Honestly, did you look up endocrinology that night? I would have looked up her history. I was like, I'm gonna find out a bunch of
so
stuff.
mad, and because I knew I was right, and it's like, well, who cares? There's like full of doctors that know, but she's a hormone specialist. And then there was somebody who works
She's a whore, you said? She's a
Like a
hormone? She's a
well,
hormone.
endocrinology is somebody that's a specialist
Oh,
in
like,
hormones.
you tell you you're into hormones?
Yeah. But anyways, I was it really triggered me and made me upset. And then I find out, because there was a colleague that was diabetic. He used to have a bag of sugar. He'd be like that, and looked really unhealthy, panting all the time, sweaty. And I tried to tell him, like a keto, and he go, "Oh, I'd never do that to my body." So, anyways, yeah, that's how. So, and I even told. So he ends up. Guess who his doctor is? It's this endocrinologist, and she brought me up in the appointment. He goes, "Yeah, I went and saw this endocrinologist. She talked about you." And I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Yeah, she told me, like to cut my calories and exercise more, the typical thing that they say." And she specified, don't do anything extreme like your colleague me. And it's upsetting. The guy decided, he's like, "Oh, I go swimming once in a while." I'm like, "You're not going to outswim diabetes."
Let me guess, Jason. She is single, right?
I don't know, but
she's definitely not married, probably.
Probably not. But it's upsetting that he had the guy at the hospital had a stroke, being followed by her. He could have changed his health within a couple of months. And I find it sad, because that's why I first started the YouTube channel, because a lot of overweight people, they're not lazy slugs. They're being lied to, and the way they're eating, their whole metabolic system is like screaming, "I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry." I know if I go off keto, then that's it. I'm binging on frigging carbs, and then the next day I'm starved. I can't do one meal a day. I have to do 3 meals a day.
Yeah,
keto.
that I'm not gonna lie. There, when I go to not like a nice light salad with someone, no problem, or even some chicken. But the time with my son, no regrets either. I'll do the same at Christmas.
Yeah, of course.
When we had pizza and beer. Okay, but the next day there was no way in living hell that I was going to go 24 hours without eating at least something. I couldn't. It was excruciating. The next day, after having eaten that, at 9 a.m., my body was like, "Cold pizza, come on!" And I didn't. So I was like, "No." I did. Then I did 24 hours the next day, and then it took me a while. It took me a week to be able to get back up to 3 days, because my body was like, "Oh no, he's good. He's back to eating like a pig." Yeah.
No, the carbohydrates for many people, it just triggers a appetite. There's one of the videos I had shown, I had popped it up in the PowerPoint presentation, and it was saying, guys, if the fat on our body is there when we don't have food, but after 3 to 5 hours we feel like we're dying and going to pass out, isn't that telling you something? Like, why can't you access your fat storage? And that's because, we're supposed to be eating mostly fat and protein from animal food. Yeah. And our ancestors, they got smart, and they figured out how to supplement for increased calories, certain plants and stuff like that. but the way they were processed too, they fermented, they did all sorts of processes to eliminate a lot of the phytochemicals that could cause problems as well, you know.
Yeah.
Really, we're being lied to, and they're making, imagine that, it's like, okay, we were eating animal food, right, and bacon and eggs, table cream. I mean, the cream you buy is still called table cream. I think the 18% and stuff like that.
Right.
So all of a sudden in 1930s, they said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to do a low fat. So they reduced the fat, and if you reduce the fat and keep the protein constant, you have to push the sugar in. So they reduced the fat, and then they benefited from all the subsidized, the cane, the corn, all of these corn syrup stuff. So all of these subsidized grains that are dirt cheap. That's
I used to eat a lot of corn. I loved corn. Well, I don't know about you, Pat.
Well,
So the dang, Pat.
Yes,
The dang, some corn. You like? Oh, I used to be able to eat a whole bowl, just like out of the bag, hot with like a lot of butter on top, sprinkled up with
it's
salt.
delicious. Most carbs are delicious, but it's
well, I thought it was a vegetable. Like I'm literally going back saying, well, I'm going to eat that. Those are vegetables, you know, back in the days when people used to think it was good for you. I remember eating rice. I remember eating rice, man. Okay. And people were, he'll be back, I guess.
Yeah.
I was eating rice, and I remember everybody, even at school, they're all saying, you want to lose weight? Eat rice like the Chinese and the Asian people. They're very thin. Ask them if they eat rice cakes. Rice cake, not for Chinese.
Yeah.
We make rice cakes sell to you. They don't eat rice cakes at all.
You.
They think it's disgusting. They don't eat rice cakes.
Yeah. No,
I love rice cakes. It's something I could eat all day long, actually. Rice cakes, I've always liked rice cakes.
Yeah.
Even sometimes you put a bit of butter on it. Yes, sir.
You ran to the dépanneur.
The dépanneur, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dépanneur in the old days, bag of Doritos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was mine too.
Sure.
Bag of Doritos. Used to get so much cheese on my fingers I could climb walls.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. Just climbing the walls with the Doritos. My thing, Pat, was a bag of regular chips with a bag of curds.
I'll be back.
Yeah, no problem.
It was the Ruffles with
There you go.
the dip.
That too. Yeah. Especially that too. But I mean, I'd open a big bag of curds and I'd throw it inside of the bag of chips. Just gonna go through the whole friggin' bag, you know. Sometimes vinegar in that, ketchup. Anyways, yeah, I'm telling you. But and the worst of it, it's not that we eat a lot. It's what we eat, I guess, you know. Well, if you're always having chips or a chocolate bar or something like that, and what else can you have? It's a snack. Often people will have a muffin, another thing, Pat, it was cookies, the biscuits. Colin, I used to eat a lot of cookies. I loved cookies.
The morning muffin at Timmy's, a coffee and a muffin. Every morning.
Oh yeah, there you go. Exactly. And
just coffee.
Yeah, exactly. And it is good. Like, listen, that morning friggin' muffin is good. It's good, but the bread, the grease. Yeah, exactly. I stopped the bread too. Stop bread, the pasta, and everything. And that's why I'm losing fast for sure. That's why we're losing. You too. You stop that too, eh? T'arrêter pâtes too, the rice and everything. That's amazing. Definitely going to be good. Jules, my little brother was just diagnosed with celiac disease. Talk about a wrench thrown into his daily eatings. Wow, Jules. Wow.
Or low carb, or just avoid all the grains, obviously. There's a guy at work that, you know, like the type of person that always comments, you know, oh, you were sick yesterday? Oh, you didn't look too bad, you know, like just little comments and stuff like that. I used to hide. I'd go down. They had, you know, the Richard D's there. It's basically like a chocolate coated ice cream, you know, but they're small, you know. So I used to buy like 5 of them, and I'd put them in my pocket, and I'd eat like 3 of them before I went to the department. And then I'd arrive, and you'd be like, 2? And I was like,
Oh, bro,
I was
yeah.
like a junkie, you know.
I
in the
do it
back,
on purpose.
like,
I do it on purpose at one point.
crying like that. I went camping, and I bought like tons of junk food, and like I was hiding it from the kids. It was like
Yeah.
really sad. It was such a pathetic. It's like hiding from the kids. I'm like, I don't have enough money for them. I just bought like $100.
Me, I never buy candy. And at one point, I go to the corner store, the Depanar. Walk into the Depanar. When I say that on Brucey's All, I always say 7-Eleven, but in reality, it's because in the States.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a certain candy. It's like squishy, like a jelly bean. Not a jelly bean, like a squishy candy, but like a fruit or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind it is. What do you say, Pat?
The
Strawberry
jujubes.
one?
Yeah, well, the same texture as the jujube, but like the recent ones that it tastes a lot like fruit. I had bought a bag like that, and I said, "Holy shit, that was good!" So I go home and I had a bag, and I never eat any candy. I go back to the corner store, and I went from after buying the little bag, I bought like a grocery size sort of freaking fruit bag, and I remember being at home going, you got 9 per hand, just going 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, the whole friggin' bag. Like I just go through the whole, but I wouldn't eat sweets. I'd never go get any. But if somebody gave me some, or like it's Christmas, or at one point, some amazing community member, it was Valentine's Day or it was my birthday, they sent me 2 boxes of chocolate. I'm like, oh my goodness, I got chocolate like for a month. They were already done. I was showing her the box, but they were empty. I had finished it the minute I opened it up. I didn't even wait, I can't see it. So I emptied my fridge. J'ai des affaires gelées. I have only frozen food in the fridge. And when I want to make something, I unthaw something and then I eat it. And that's it. Instead of having snacks, if not, I'd eat them all the time.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. You know what, guys? I promised my wife from now on it's an hour and a half because I do.
Yeah,
like
listen, it was fun. Yeah,
Pat, please come back next week and we can have you on a lot earlier. So,
that way, and félicitations, congrats, man. Keep it up, man, and your wife too for the changes. Like you said, real quick, you said that she likes sweets and sugars, but in reality, that there's a compensation that go get something and compensate the sweet. Eventually, she'll be able to hack it.
And he's getting good.
Yeah, and there's no work to do. You don't have to get on a bike or overdo it. Just the food,
especially with the sugar there, the keto sugar there.
All
that there. I make her desserts, and she's so happy now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't spike her insulin, and
very good.
The best is stevia. If you can get stevia. The other ones, I'm unsure of. Especially, I know what's the aspartame is definitely not good. But if you can find stevia, then it's good. What I often do for, let's say, my craving or something, I'll put a little bit of cream. I don't mind because you don't taste it. I put like a decent amount, like 4 or 5 eggs, but raw eggs. And then after I put a handful of berries, and then you can put the stevia. And if you don't tell her, it's thick enough, and it tastes really like a smoothie. But some people find they're grossed out by eggs and stuff like that. But if grow a
plum tree. Hey Pat, I ate I think 100 plums in the tree, and it turns out there's good benefits. It's low in fat and low in carbs and everything. The plums, the cherry plums. I was like, holy crap, that was good stuff. Well, listen, Pat, congrats. Keep it up. And to you both, hi to your wife too, and everything. You guys take care. Jason, thanks, man.
Yeah.
As always, I love you. I love you guys, and
love you guys too.
We'll do this again, guys.
Hope to see you next Monday.
Absolutely.
Keep us updated.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks,
see
Pat.
you guys.
Bye, guys.
All right. Bye, Bruce. Love you. Oh, I didn't even have the pleasure of booting Bruce off. You just left like that. You take away all the fun. All right. Hey, Rod, you gotta come on next time too. We gotta get a nice panel going. Okay, guys. Thanks for showing up. Please share this. What I am going to be doing on my channel is I'm going to be making a playlist. So I have my morning daily bread. I'm going to be making for each of the books of the Bible. We do morning readings. I'll be doing playlists with those, and I'll be collecting all of these Monday live streams for keto and fasting, and try and put them in order so that people can watch them if they're new and they're not all scattered all around everywhere. All right. Thanks a lot. God bless, and see you next Monday for the next stream.